Hello children, I'm Alicia and I'm back with another video on the first chapter of Beehive class 9th, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. My dear children, before we start the explanation part, let us discuss the homework first. I hope you all have done the homework. Now let us discuss the homework. So, in the previous video, 3 questions were given to all of you as homework. And the first question was, what do you think a telebook is? And my dear children, the answer is on your screens. A telebook is a virtual book that can be read on a screen, or you can give another answer. And what is that? A telebook is a book which can be read through electronic devices. Electronic devices means tablet, laptop, smartphones, computer, and other electronic devices. Now we'll move on to the second question. What kind of teachers did the old schools have? Let's see the answer. The old schools had a regular teacher in the form of a human being. The old school teachers interacted with their students in the class. They had a special building and all the kids went there. Now we'll move on to the third question. What school is Tommy talking about? We know the answer very well. Tommy is talking about the old school that existed centuries ago. So that was the answer of the 3 questions, and I hope that you all have written the answers correctly. And now, my dear children, let us discuss the chapter. But before that, I would like to summarize whatever we studied, whatever we saw in the previous video. So in the previous video, we saw that Mowgli was scoring very less marks, especially in geography, and her mother was very worried. She called the county inspector for repairing the mechanical teacher, and the county inspector came, and within 1 hour he repaired the mechanical teacher. And he also told Mowgli's mother that it was not Mowgli's fault, but the geography sector of the mechanical teacher was adjusted a little too quick and he had to slow it down to an average 10-year level. He also assured Mowgli and her mother that there would be no problem henceforth. Now Mowgli was very curious to know about the school that existed in the past. Tommy told her that it was not their kind of school. That was the old kind of school that they had centuries ago. He further said that the students had a human teacher who taught them and gave them homework and also asked them questions. Mowgli argued that a man could not be smart enough. Then Tommy further told her that the teachers did not live in the house. In fact, they had a special building and all the kids went there. The kids of the same age learned the same thing. So this is what we studied, we discussed in the second video, in the second part, and now we will move ahead with the rest of the portion, and we'll start from the 8th paragraph of the chapter, and you can see it on your screens. So see what is happening. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Now, Magi is saying that her mother told her that a teacher here means the mechanical teacher. The mechanical teacher is not knowing exactly that what is the age of the boy or the girl who is going to use her. So the mechanical teacher has to be adjusted. You have to tune that mechanical teacher to the level of that boy and girl. Then only that mechanical teacher could teach or could explain the chapters or contents properly to the children. Just the same, they didn't do it that way then. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. Somewhere, Magi was again and again asking very different type of questions, and these type of questions were irritating Tommy. So Tommy finally said that if you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. Now see what Magi is saying. I did not say I didn't like it. Magi said quickly. Magi said, no, I'm not saying that I don't like it. Because somewhere Magi had a lot of interest to know about the old schools. She wanted to read about those funny schools. And she was very happy to know more about the old schools. They weren't even half finished when Magi's mother called. Magi, school. Magi looked up. Not yet, Mama. Now, said Mrs. Jones, and it is probably time for Tommy too. So while Magi and Tommy were having a conversation, Magi's mother, she called Magi and told her to get back to her school, and she also told Tommy that he should also go to the school. Magi said to Tommy, can I read the book some more with you after school? Now Magi is very much interested in knowing more about old type of school, and she's asking Tommy that whether she could read the book some more with him after school. Maybe, he said nonchalantly. Nonchalantly means not showing a lot of interest. He walked away, whistling, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. So here we can see Tommy is in fact showing himself as he is more knowledgeable than Magi, and without paying much interest to what Magi is saying, he walked away whistling, and he put that book just beneath his arm. Tucked means to put. Okay, he put that book beneath his arm. Magi went into the schoolroom. It was right next to her bedroom. This is very important line, my dear children. Please remember this line. Margie went into the schoolroom. And where was that schoolroom? It was right next to her bedroom. Means in the year 2157, there won't be any special building where the children will be going to study, but the schoolroom will be inside the house of each and every student. And the mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. It was always on that same time every day except Saturday and Sunday. So there were two holidays in a week, Saturday and Sunday. Except these 2 days, the rest of the 5 days were fully utilized for studies. Now see what is happening. Because her mother said little girls learn better if they learn at regular hours. Margie's mother, she had a belief that if the little girls, if they learn something at regular hours, that would be very helpful for them. The screen was lit up and it said, today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fractions. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. Now we can see something is flashing on that screen of that mechanical teacher, and what is written there? It is written that today's arithmetic lesson is on addition of proper fractions. Means this time Magi is going to study mathematics. But before that, what she had to do? Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. So yesterday's homework will be checked first of all. Maggie did so with a sigh. Sigh means deep breath. She was thinking about the old schools they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. Although Maggie was sitting in front of the mechanical teacher and she was ready to learn mathematics, but somewhere her mind was wandering. She was literally thinking about the old schools, the schools her grandfather's grandfather used to go. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came, laughing and shouting in the schoolyard, sitting together in the schoolroom, going home together at the end of the day. Now Maggie was thinking that in the old schools there was a lot of fun. All the children used to go there in groups. All the children used to sit together in the school, in the classrooms. All children used to discuss among themselves. They used to laugh together. They used to shout together. And really, it was a lot of fun that times. But what is happening now? Maggie is all alone in her schoolroom. Nobody is there except the mechanical teacher. Literally, how boring. But literally, she is thinking about the old schools. They learned the same things so they could help one another with the homework and talk about it. And she was thinking that how wonderful it was. All the children used to sit together, they used to learn the same thing. And while learning the same thing, what is the best part? The best part is children can help one another among themselves. If somebody is having a problem, he could take help of the another student, and it's really great. All the teachers were people, and the another best part was there was no mechanical teacher. All the teachers were human beings. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen when we add fraction 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, and something was going on that screen. Means literally the mechanical teacher was explaining mathematics, was explaining the fractions to Maggie, but Maggie was literally thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. She was thinking about the fun they had, but somewhere her mind was totally, she was thinking about the old type of schools. She was thinking about how beautiful that time was. So that was the end of this chapter, my dear children. The fun they had. Wonderful chapter. So in this chapter, the most important thing what we have to keep it in our mind is that Maggie and Tommy, they are such children who are taught by mechanical teacher, not by teachers who are human beings. And this story is set up in the year 2157, and we are right now in 2020. So near about after 100 years, near about approx after 100 years, what will happen? And my dear children, don't you think that these type of schools, these types of education, this type of teacher that is mentioned in the story, don't you think that it's very boring? It's very tiresome, it's very difficult for the students, because now we are having a wonderful time. All the children, they come together in a special building, they sit together. A teacher who is a human being, he teaches them. Sometimes they laugh, sometimes they discuss with their friends, they share their lunch boxes. Everything is so nice. So old schools are much better than the schools of 2157. So my dear children, we have finished the first chapter of Beehive class 9th, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. Now my dear children, I will provide you a few questions as homework, and please note it down. And after you go through these questions, I request all of you to write down the answers of these questions properly in your fair copy. And in the next video, we will discuss these questions first of all, and then I will provide you the answers of all these questions, and then we will move on to the next chapter. So the questions are on your screens. You can see it. The very first question is, what kind of teachers did Margie and Tommy have? We know the answer very well. What kind of teachers? Why did Margie's mother send for the county inspector? What was the reason behind calling that county inspector? The answer is very clear. We know it very well. What did he do? What did he do? He here means the county inspector. Now, the fourth question. Why was Margie doing badly in geography? What did the county inspector do to help her? This answer is also very clear to all of us. What had once happened to Tommy's teacher? That is also very clear. We know the answer. Did Margie have regular days and hours for school? If so, why? Seventh question. How does Tommy describe the old kind of school? And the last question is, how does he describe the old kind of teachers? So altogether 8 questions are there, my dear children. Go through these 8 questions, write down the answers. Once again, read the chapter thoroughly. And if you have any problem, if you have any confusion, please drop your question in the comment section of this video, and I would definitely respond to your queries. My dear children, till then, take care of yourself, your family members, stay at home, take care, God bless you.